Hey, good morning. This is.
Maybe.
Hey, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
Are you a wife? Can you speak to me on recorded line or no?
Sure.
Okay. So my name is Antonio, and I call this guy named. I don't know what your name is. I don't care, but I want to tell you about wonderful. But I don't know how to tell you about it, so I want you to tell me about it. Wonderful. Tell to me.
About the wonderful what?
I want to know about the wonderful. You get too specific, yes, because I can't ask specific because it's different for every human being that travels around this planet on Earth that goes around and circle around big ball sun. Yes. So, what is whatever I ask you in that the context?
I don't know at the moment.
Yeah. So, how you doing, old buddy?
Oh man, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Well, I just been talking to my little, I don't know, Ukrainian. I think I'm Ukrainian, but I'm not for sure.
I can't decide if you got a little, maybe some Italian in there.
I'm gonna tell you right fucking now, I'm not fucking Italian, but actually I am part Italian, but I can't talk to you about it on the telephone. No?
Yeah.
No?
So what you out there, man?
I tell you right now, I'm walking around in my yard, and you may or may not believe this. You probably can believe this, but it boils down to the fact that I'm walking around my yard in my underwear with a shaver and a razor, getting ready for Friday.
So in your yard, in your underwear, with a shaver and a razor, getting ready for Friday.
Shaving my balls in the front yard. Yeah, that's
just
exactly
standing out there, I just stand over a towel.
But I live in the country. We can go outside and shave outside.
Well, I can. But I like the better light. When I get down near the boys, I like to be able to see a little better.
Well, I'm not shaving real close to the balls. I go up to the top, and I across the top outside, and I do my belly, and I do my chest, and I do my head, and then I go do balls. No, I cannot do balls outside. No, it's just too short blades. It cuts off balls, you die. No good.
Woo. Sound like a hairy monkey going out there. They're going to be getting a Bigfoot sighting out there. There's a damn Bigfoot shaving down out of my neighbor's yard.
Hey, I saw that commercial the other day from like 1985, and it was talking about we wear short shorts. There's something about Nair.
Oh, yeah, the Nair commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the old Nair commercials.
I do not object.
To the Nair. I don't think I've ever had to use any Nair or nothing. Thankfully. I've heard some people say, no, it's not a pleasant, experience.
I've never used it, but I had I don't know. Actually, I got into some shit one time that was some stuff that I thought one of my previous relationships, she had some stuff in the shower, and I thought, well, I'm gonna shave that right there because it was pretty good,
Yeah.
Come to find out, it was some kind of liquid Nair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dark room. I had to shave for like 2 weeks, bro. But now my eyebrows were a problem. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened to my eyebrows, bro? What happened to my eyebrows? Where'd they go? Where are my eyebrows at then? Then I figured out whatever the fuck was in that bottle took care of my eyebrows.
Like it took care of all your body hair.
Well,
I remember seeing a picture of you look like you were super shaved at some point.
Well, hey, if you remember me growing up, it's like I remember young people are like, "Oh, damn, you hairy." I'm like, "Yeah," but now let me tell you something. As you get older, that shit kind of thins out, and I do mean thins out. It becomes like very sparse white shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So what was once some sexy shit that women would suck on and go, "Ooh, baby," becomes a shit like, "What the fuck is all over your chest, man? Is that you ain't shaved that shit off, bro?"
Yeah, they'd be like, "Is it patchy? It's like mane?"
Yeah, and that was the crack whore down there at the substation, you know. And even she was offended by it. I'm like, well, damn, if a crack whore is offended by this, damn, my wife is, no wonder she won't touch me after, you know, daylight comes around.
You're right. Wait for the sunshine to go away.
God, I feel loved, man. You know, I feel loved all the way, man.
Well, hey, I know. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you definitely you didn't want to wear no turtlenecks. You know, it looked like you had hair calling out around. It's always disgusting. But that was like 5th grade. I mean, you know.
I think he's part Sasquatch or something.
And like you say, you get a little older, you know, it starts patching out, and you start getting bald spots in places. Start going, well, I kind of wish that hair would go away. It's kind of white.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? The other day, I was sitting there, of course, you know, with me, mine thinned out pretty quick. All I had to do was get a little bit old, but I went back and I looked at a picture of an old friend of ours, and I'm not going to mention his name, and you don't mention it either. But he was on us a trip down to the river one day when the game warden showed up. You remember that day, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
So he was there, and I saw pictures of him. And this somebody had like very distinct cut hairs around his neck, and I thought, God damn, he is one of us. So like, he just died 15 years ago the other day. And of course, it's been 30-something years since you and I've seen him. Is that some weird shit to you? I mean, is it really fucking like, you know, like, is it like a weird experience for you to like be driving down the road one day? And this is where I was with this guy right there we're talking about and Travis. I was driving down the road one day and I realized that I was in a car, doing donuts one night and blew up the motor in the car with 2 dudes that are dead now. And I thought, damn, I'm the only motherfucker in the car alive. That's fucked up, even though it was 30 years later. So, like, you know, with you and your contemplation of existence and your place in the mathematics world, what do you think about death? I mean, and motherfuckers that you know, like the guy that I'm talking about there, with the hair around his chest popping up, that's dead, been dead for 15 years. And you know who I'm talking about, I think. But how does that make you feel about some dead motherfuckers hanging around you?
Well, when it goes to just, you know, you just driving along and you got lucky or, you know, was watched over by the universe, you know, whatever you consider it to be, you know, that dose of mortality, because when you're young and you're doing the donuts being stupid with those 2 guys, you never thought that was going to happen. It's just you have to be driving along and a dose of mortality hits you in the face. And because we've gotten older, you know, we know we're not immortal like we thought we was, you know, it gives you better pause, especially when you remember, man, you know, I could have been in that situation or whatever. It's just that splash of cold water you get in your face whenever, you know, you suddenly realize you're mortal and you actually feel it, you know, for a moment. You know, thankfully not everybody does that all the time, because then you never get anything done, you know, type thing. But just the thoughts of it is, you know, I mean, I'll remember back when it made me remember, kind of examine the memory and think, man, I'm stupid, or, you know, woo, we got lucky, or, you know, and then think about some of the other times involved with, any of the people I happen to be thinking about. And most time it was just any of the good times and stuff, and then just little things like that, and then just, oh man, what would they think about now? Just think about some of the conversations we may or may not would have had, or, I don't, I look at mortality pretty much as, whenever I, like I say, whenever I'm not here anymore, I'm just it's just an empty bag. That which is me is gone. And it can happen at any time, so I just don't put too much extra into it, just try to, let's keep it going along as we can, by all means. But, as far as like, what's next? Well, I guess I'll know when I get there.
I remember one time, about that same time, a few months before, you and I were hanging out over here in Crossett, and we were doing things and hanging out. And I didn't think about like this guy here because I hadn't seen him since 1989, so a long time. But what if that son of a bitch died in 2008, 2007, 2008? He died actually in February 2008. What if that would have been me or you? I mean, what would you want me to say about you? Or what would you say about me? I mean, what if you didn't last as long as you did? I mean, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? I mean, back then, I was rocking and rolling, baby. 2007, 2008. I was 35. That was a different thing than 50-something. Like now I done lived too fucking long, bro. I'm like 50-something now. I'm like, fuck. Good weed. What do you think?
Well, we had such, different things to me, because I married young, got kids young, got remarried, took care of another family for a while, and so my time was mainly just, trying to raise kids and, just get out of living, and then as far as, the legacy of it is I know I seem to be, well liked and, thought about mostly by most people know, or at least what people I hear have mentioned just in passing and junk, and I think I've done more good than bad. And I guess what I left behind is whatever I've done, the good with the bad. Shoot, I've done some bad stuff, and I wish I hadn't, but I've done them. But I'd still like to think, I think I've done more good than bad, made more people laugh and make cry. And that's just kind of it. I got kids, got grandbabies. I see them light up when I see them, and I'm already making memories with them. So there's my legacy. I think I've done fair. How about you?
Okay. So I agree with it. I agree with all of that because, I have people right now that I talked to my child tonight, my oldest one. I have multiple children. So do you. But I talked to my oldest boy tonight. He was up there in a place that he was in a place where he's not 50-something years old. When you're 50-something years old, when I'm 50 years old, I really don't, I've already went my own way. I've got an education, been married, had kids. But when I'm 18, I'm talking about 34 years ago for us? How long ago was it since 18?
Oh, well, like I say, I'm 50, so that's 32 years ago.
Well, it was 33 years ago for me.
Yeah.
So that's Jesus Christ age. So I already had high school diploma by the time Jesus was even born. If you believe in Jesus, or if you believe in technology, or if you believe in anything, because everything that's happened between now and then is changed, just like I have. So, right now, I'm on March 2nd, 2023. I'm 51 years old. That's some really great fucking weed here. It's making me think about shit I probably would never think about normally. And again, it's March 2nd. I hear frogs. There's all my trees are, there's daffodils around the pond. All my trees have bulbs out here. Bulbs. What do you call this stuff?
Bulbs.
Yeah.
Bulbs with a B.
Yeah. All my grass is green.
Got little white flowers growing on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's purple. Purple.
Yeah.
And white. Purple is the most rare shit ever besides blue, and it's all out there.
Out in the big old field there, like my yard the other day, I took a picture, and my willow trees started budding out, and then the little white flowers just down the whole length of the the ditch and over into the garden and stuff. And you can see the dogwoods are blooming. I saw you don't see many of the pink ones much anymore, but I've seen a couple of them. The crepe myrtles are blooming. Hey, it's just getting spring. It's nice. It's a good change.
Yes. But yes, it's great, and I love it. But what we're experiencing right now is what we experienced, 20 years ago, 6 or 4, maybe 5, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Why? Why is that? Why is in February I have daffodils growing in my front yard? That's bullshit, bro. 2 years in a row, I've had daffodils growing in my front fucking yard in Arkansas, not in fucking Mexico. But in Arkansas.
Well, they've got record snowfalls over on the, at the Sierra Nevadas, 12 foot of snow. Hollywood, Los Angeles, got the first snowfalls they've seen in 30 plus years, and all the
Jimmy
flooding.
Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has snow. Yes. So, like, in Arkansas, we have 79 degrees, 80. I came home today after 4 p.m. It was 79 degrees in my vehicle, or outside my vehicle. But at the same time, this is not unusual sometimes, we've seen this before. I've seen Christmases where I was walking around with a pair of shorts on, and but now here's what's so scary about it, though. To me, this is just to me, and this is only me speaking to you right now. And if you ever quote me on this bullshit, I don't care if it's recorded. You go, Brad, I have it on fucking recording right the fuck here.
Go ahead.
Okay. But most of the time it became a big freeze after this. And this year it's not going to. It's not going to come big freeze after this. The big freezes are done, bro. It may go down to 37, but it's not going back down to 32 Fahrenheit. It's not going to fucking happen. It's not. Those days are over.
I don't think necessarily it goes that low, but now, they were talking about in the northern part of the state. Right now there's tornado watches, tornado warnings. Massive things. You look at Texas and all of them. If anybody happens to go look up some stuff, I've been seeing all kinds of alerts about them. But they're talking about as early as Friday morning. Some of those places, the rain will stop and actually turn to snow. Or possibly could. I don't think we'll have any more big freezes. But now, the thing I hate the worst about these is how it stays like this just long enough to keep, the frogs and stuff come out. Like I say, the bugs are coming out. Everything starts trying to bloom. And then we'll have just a couple days of moderate frosting. It won't be a hard freeze. It'll just be a frost, just enough to kill most of the, the little buds that are popping out on the trees. That's the thing I hate's going to happen. And hopefully it won't happen too much around here. But now I know they're already talking about up north. They're worried about by Friday or Saturday the temperature's going to fall back down to the 30s.
I definitely get what you're saying, but I'm talking about for us though, because it's different up there, and it's like dramatically, actually dramatically different, just about like 400 miles above us. And I almost feel like I'm in the middle. But
I was just meaning the frosting. Yeah, we might have a little bit of frosting, but that's it.
I know, but let me feel like I want to feel like I'm acting for a minute. Let's pretend like we're in the middle. Let me pretend, Donald.
Okay.
So like I'm out here, and I'm actually naked except for my underwear. You know.
Man, damn. Ooh, terrible visual.
Big fat gut hanging over a very, you know.
So have you got the live feed up and running?
Thank God it's very no camera where I'm at. But I know where they're at, and I'm hiding from them right now. Okay.
Yeah, let's go live.
Okay. So let's just pretend we're live.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sitting there, and this guy, he's like 50-something. He's got his Apple Watch on it, tells him he needs to stand up. He got his underwear on. His, you know, not nearly as ample.
Man, you are painting a horrible picture here.
Okay. As he would want it to be, because like he would want it to be like, you know, 29-mile long, you know, sitting arrangement for multiple entities. But he's very happy with it. Okay. So let's move past that. So I'm out here in this zone. First off, let's get past all those insecurities. We got past them.
Right.
So we're out here. Okay. So I'm, you know, wearing a loincloth.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'm out here. I don't know where the fuck I'm at, because I just became cognizant of the fact that I'm like not just it. So like I just had the illusion that I'm something more, that I can exist without breathing, that I could exist without eating, that I could exist without shelter, or anything else that the environment affords me, around me. So what I'm trying to say to you is that I'm not just me. I'm this thing around me. Because I can't be without it. And it could be without me. And it did for a long time. But it really likes to have a person to pick up sticks for it. Okay.
Just saying.
Because that's really all it can do. You know.
Right.
Because it comes before us. I heard a scientist the other day, a Christian scientist actually, and they said something like, "Well, you know, trees are much older than human beings." And let's just say that they are, but even that means something. Because you look down, you can at my kids, my children, I can see, I was, man, you fucking up. You know, like the trees look down, listen to them, well, you fucking up. You know, because they've been there for a while. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that this bigger thing out there, I can't breathe without it. It can breathe without me. And technically, you know, we could probably breathe, we all could, without individual species all around. But we can also acknowledge there's a lot of us, and that nature is making accommodations for us right now. There's a bunch of us. You know, it's not just like it was in our country right here where we're at 150 years ago. This I know, population has doubled since when I was born. Doubled. Say it for me. Doubled. There you go.
Doubled.
Since we were born. So since we were born, population of human beings have doubled. And like, if I look at anything and go, it's fucking doubled. You know, specifically,
by all
if I'm,
means.
you know, that's a lot.
Well, like,
Talking about
whenever you're talking about, you know, you get out and you realize, you know, you can, you know, you get to the mindset that you can connect enough to open yourself up to actually feel the connection. Now, people will say that it's not real, but it's real to you at that moment. You know, whether it's tangible to anybody else or any type of a measurable means, that's not the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise was you achieved a state that you felt good and connected to everything. And it lets you open your mind to have a discussion about you saying how it doesn't need you except for to pick up sticks. I love how it's come to say, okay, well, nature has decided to create mankind to pick up sticks. But, you know, that led me to the thing of, you know, nature, the theologians talking about how trees are so much older than man and stuff like that. Well, that's because we're just a blip in the overall thing that is considered nature. You know, but most people, nature is just, you know, the rocks, the trees, you know, but, you know, all of that's connected to the magma and to the core and to the magnetic and the space and the other things that are around. I mean, it's the universe type thing. So it's, you know, somehow, somewhere, some combination of things that has been here forever came together to create what is now we know as mankind. You know, nature had a purpose for it, or it was a complete accident. If it don't need us, it'll find a way to remove us from the equation, you know, in some shape, form, or fashion. It's just like, you know, do we find a way to coexist with whatever purpose we were done with it, or we continue to buck it like we seem to be doing, like you're talking about with, you know, just some of the problems we have with the, you know, the population growth and just, you know, the rampant waste disposal and how, you know, people making bad decisions for greed and other reasons. Some of that's going to come back and bite us in the ass. And if we don't find a way to coexist before it happens, well, we will be removed. You know, nature is all about balance, and it comes to you every day. You know, so I just think that when you get connected like that, you don't necessarily have to think that, you know, that you won't be missed, because you might be missed, but you'll still be connected in some shape, form, or fashion. You just won't be the version that is you. You'll just be your component particles, maybe in part of your consciousness. You know, think about some of the different religions and stuff where people they want to be directly buried into the dirt. They don't want to be in a stainless steel box put in a waterproof thing to where they can't get back to the earth. You know, we don't know what happens. I mean, there's so many possibilities that the mind is just, it makes your head tingle just to go, man, it's great to have these many options. And you can never be told any one of them is absolutely right or wrong until it happens and you go there. They're all equally possible for me, in my mind.
I want to tell you right now. So I'm still outside, and I'm still down to my drawers. I'm out here just feeling the wind blow in this March 2nd, 2023. Listen to my favorite person ever speak to me in the background. Tell me about philosophy, because I love this. This is where this is like I'm man dancing around a fire, and you're the shaman telling me what I need to know. But I have one more question for you, dear shaman. Tonight out here, and I'm in my little loincloth, and I'm dancing around, and my neighbor has a huge light. Listen. And I see this, the sky, you know, the sky's kind of bright because the moon is like half full, and the pine trees are full in my view. But the deciduous trees they're bulbing out. You know, I even see leaves out there, and it's dark. It's like way dark. What time is it? Like 9 o'clock. So we're sitting out there. I'm sitting out here in my loincloth, the wind blowing and gently touching very beautiful parts of me, and I'm feeling very philosophical. And these limbs are above me, and the moon, and these trees, and I'm here. And I don't know why the fuck I'm here. spinning on a ball of dirt, rock and water. We've talked about before. 66,000 miles per hour. Ooh, in front of the house, the wind is much more brisk. 66,000 miles per hour. This fucking ball of dirt, rock and water is spinning around this huge ball of nuclear fusion. Fission. No, it's fusion. It's fusion. The sun is fucking fusion, bro. I'm out here. I'm watching a tree grow in front of my house. I planted this motherfucker. I'm watching it grow. It was like 3 foot tall, and now it's like 28 feet tall. So I'm watching this fucker grow, man, and I'm like doing all the stuff I'm doing, talking to you, my friend, that I've talked to since 1977. That's like, I don't know, 40-something years ago? 46 years ago. Okay. So I've heard your dumbass voice for that long. Okay.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Okay. So spinning out here, right now with these shadows of these trees, the neighbors' light shining up here, I want you to just sprinkle a little bit of that shit that you always sprinkle on me. And it ain't got to be a whole lot. I don't want to put too much pressure on you. But what's out there with you right now? I mean, where's your fucking brain? Where, in this context of where we're at, out here, tell me about it. Just give me a little bit of inspiration for this whole fucking thing, because it seems so crazy right now, Donald. Tell me about it.
Well, I mean, one thing that, that I always like to think, it goes back to, earlier in the conversation, we was talking about, what you believe you may or may not have a legacy or for. Some people believe in fate and destiny, and it's kind of like looking if you're a type of person that needs to know that that you have a meaning in your life, you may be disappointed, But if you take it in terms of, again, I think it goes back to accepting that everything has a place in what we call our universe, or at least within their own universe that they experience. They have a place, and you may not have a purpose, nothing more than be a placeholder. You might be a placeholder to give birth to your child that gives birth to another child, and 4 generations from now that child does something with a bigger plan than anybody can, figure out, or even decide needs to happen, if humanity would even still be here, type thing. We don't quit fussing around with ourselves. Somebody's going to mess around, and we're going to be a lot shorter, and we're going to kind of go back, and we'll start all over. If nature still needs us, well, it's going to be a huge, well-reduced crowd, in some shape, form, or fashion. But we could just continue to roll on here and everything be great. With a lot of people, and I think there needs to be a whole lot less of this, my way is the only way. We're losing that natural neuroelasticity. I think you made a comment about author you heard had made that, or maybe it was even a sermon you'd heard. The loss of the neuroelasticity of our people. You look at the extreme right and the extreme lefts, and then you got the people in the middle that's got the elasticity to go, well, not everybody can be right, and I can live with some things wrong, and and we're losing a lot of that. So that's going to be another thing that's going to be a long time coming, But I guess if everybody can kind of just chill the fuck out for a little while, it'll probably be all right.
Yeah. Hey, that puts you that was the last play of the game right there. It was like the 8 ball way off from the corner pocket, 28 balls on the table, and he's got to make that shot. Like, oh my God, dude, why didn't you put me in this position, dude? Come on, man. Hey, that was pretty brilliant though, because there's a lot of context out there. Because I remember, part one of this feature film is over. You can leave now. But I remember, if you remember, this guy, his kin is the guy that had the Steve Stevenson. Do you remember Steve?
I remember Scott. I vaguely seem to remember Steve.
Okay, so he had the chair with the wheel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to put his voice out there for a little, because I always loved that guy. He was always a great guy. He kind of reminded me of Scott, but I never did get around Scott a lot. But as we were kids, for some reason, I don't know what it is, I guess because I was a teacher's association or something, they always said, hey, go spend time with him.
Yeah.
And, of course, they told me that one time. And then after that, I'm like, well, this is the coolest guy ever, because every chick ever came up and talked to this guy forever. Okay. So, like,
yeah.
It's not the same for everything, but, like, he was told by everybody was told by the teachers to come speak to him. But now, if you ever went and spoke to this guy, then you'll know that he knew his days were numbered, even when he was in second grade. So that's a weird position to be in, I'm guessing. Is it, or is it not?
Oh, I think it'd be a very, difficult, position to be in. But, I mean, other than just, I guess personal anguish and just depending on, the way you looked at it, I'm not in a position to say I could imagine the anguish of it, or just the thought, but might have thought it was just perfectly fine, just the way everything was supposed to be.
Well,
I didn't really know him that well. I mean, like I say, I do remember him, but I mean, I just vaguely remember him.
Well, let me throw this out there real quick, because you put that out there, and I want to explain it from my perspective, what you just said, because I think it's very deep, personally. So you said that it's like you interpret it from your perspective, and let's just say that, like, I'm in the year 30,000 BC. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm riding a little boat over to wherever, South America or whatever else. Let's say we ended up in South America, but I didn't know we was going to end up there. And we were halfway there, and there was 39 of us.
Yeah.
On seven different boats. And I came to a point to where that I figured out that the only way that for everybody else to survive was for me to give up my life.
Yeah.
I believe I'd cut it. Because that's kind of the way things goes. If you go back and look at the history of humanity, and this is one of the things, because I want to talk about true crime. I want to put the title "True Crime," the tag. But there's this young guy that was found a couple years ago, and I talked about it in at least 3 podcasts, because I think it's everlastingly interesting. A 16 or 17-year-old guy decided he wanted to explore into a cabin in the middle of the woods. Instead of breaking out a window, he decides to go down the chimney. And in the process, he gets stuck. And he dies. And, of course, there are, if you go way back in time, there are monkeys or whatever kind of pre-human or whatever the hell you want to look at it. But let's say human, whatever you want to look at. And you got too close to the edge of a cliff. And you thought, wow, that really can't hurt me, because that's all fake, because my mom held me and I loved, and mom and my dad and my this and my that, my grandpa, and I'm going to take one more step because I'm going to be okay, because everybody's always saved me before. And then all of a sudden you're falling 2,700 feet. There was that first guy that did that.
Yeah.
there's a person that died like that. There's a person that died with, 3, bisexual, females of some sort or the other, loving him very lovingly. A guy that died like that. And there's a guy that died, waking up in the middle of the night with his wife's boyfriend, waking up in a different room, deciding to kill him, or breaking the house, or deciding that he needs a $12 fixture on a Christmas tree inside the house. The ways that people have died, there's 8 billion of us alive now, but the ways that people have died over all these millions and billions of years, all these things that are people, all these hominoids, it's like endless. Yes, I've fallen off a cave. If I say yes, I've fallen off a cave, if I can say that I'm the same thing that everything else is, if I can say that I'm like a fucking ant, like all of them are the fucking same, they're all the same fucking, genetically they're all the same, and something higher order than us will look at us and say the same thing. It's like, oh, they're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
There's not a fucking, you have to be very ingenuitive to figure out a new way to die right now, because there's like endless fucking possibilities. How people died. I died from an eagle. I died from a whatever. I died from this. I died from a heart attack. What a fucking cliche you are, motherfucker. What? I mean,
yeah,
I decided to fly into a fucking plane or a building. Whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely more interesting ways to die than anybody's ever considered before. The level of humanity's stupidity is boundless. Okay, it is truly boundless. There's going to be somebody to find a new and interesting way to kill them damn selves. Because they're just lacking that. That last step you were discussing when you was talking about, because somebody's always saved me before. That's called, natural order, thinning of the herd. The people who do not have the instinct to take that much care of themselves, yep, they deserve that fall. That's how nature used to remove them people. We still have more people, and we have more of that. Now we're just feeding more people. That don't mean that, hey, that should be, the survival of the fittest. But there are people who are doing it just because of that. They're just lack enough self-awareness outside of themselves to consider anything bad would happen. So like the guy that went down the chimney, probably never crossed his mind at all, but probably not a straight down shot, because most of them's got that little offshoot, and blah, blah. And who knows? Maybe he was drunk. At one time there was a place in Oregon, and it was called the Animal Farm, and that was because the laws in Oregon at that time did not make it illegal for bestiality, and there was a story, and it was like on the Onion or one of them sites, that's got news about a guy who went up there with a special made harness to let a horse mount him, and the horse was so powerful that it, just tore him all up. Of course, people drug him to the ER and threw him out of the stuff and drove off, and they finally looked it all up from videos and stuff. Now, see, there's a level of stupidity there that none of that had to happen, but yet someone found a way to make it happen.
Well, that's exactly the essence of what I was getting to.
Yeah, I thought so. I did think that was where you was going.
That's exactly it. And of course, I mean, even if you look at true crime, and this is like the second time I mentioned this, the tag true crime. So like, you can't hate me for adding that tag in here.
Nah.
Like the same thing is not just with stupidity of killing yourself, but it's also the stupidity of killing others. you have your cell phone in your pocket, and you walk up to your ex-girlfriend's house, and you kill her with your cell phone in your pocket, pinging out. You text your current girlfriend while you're doing it, and then you walk off. Well, shit. I was sitting there in my bathroom a few minutes ago here. My bathroom. My personal fucking bathroom. I'm that age, where, a bathroom break is a great place.
Right.
And I was sitting there, and I was like going, oh, wow. I pulled myself up. I go, damn, there I am in my bathroom from the sky. From the sky. So like, if I were doing something bad, worse than bathrooming, which is, happens if you eat, but you also have to kill to eat, but it's a different story. But, so, I'm sitting there, somebody could chase down, like, hey, Brad Barfield was on, Thursday afternoon at, 5:23. He was taking a dump in his bathroom, man. And everybody go, whoa, woo, yay, fucking yay. But if I was doing something else, they'd know it too. If I stopped by wherever to do whatever, I'm right here. Then, people would know it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to commit a crime, you should have enough. If you deserve to be caught, I guess, if you make it that easy for them, that's for sure. But there's many a time that's exactly how they're caught. That's exactly what you talk about. It's crazy.
I mean, but now seriously, this is only for the very dumbest of dumb to hear this message. Don't carry your phone with you, okay? But even still, it would be a break-in pattern. Let's just say that, like, you always have your phone with you, and then within, like, a 4-hour time period of the murder, you hid your phone. That would be bullshit, too. They would go, oh, yeah, well, it's sitting at home. It's not moving around the house, where usually it moves at least to the bathroom within an hour and a half. So it's still for 4 hours. It never moves. It goes to sleep. It's not accessing any web pages. So, like, this thing, which is the Matrix, kind of, if you want to default,
So I just tie it to my dog.
Let me ask you a question. If you're awake, and this thing can tell if you're awake or not, because my watch is, like, determine where my heart rate's at. And your phone is, if it's not in your hand, getting bio readings and opening up stuff, typing in passwords, it knows if you're there. So, if you're not doing that stuff within a window, I mean, how can you hide from that? I mean, today, this should be the greatest time ever for the law enforcement. Maybe it's not. Because a lot of people still use flip-flops. I drive by on the highway every day. But I'm just rambling. You ramble for a while.
Oh, it's all right. I mean, it's like you talk about, it'd be kind of dumb to do a lot of things, but I guess, then you get back to the technicalities involved, like, well, no, he don't normally sit still for 4 hours, so, what was you doing? So I'd lost it. I got up, just misplaced it, Well, you doing? Well, dude, I just didn't need it that night. I wasn't feeling like it. I mean, so I think there's a lot of ways for people to get away with tons of that. But I do think the phones and the AI stuff and the algorithms and the automatic, the things people forget they install to say, oh, yeah, you can track my location anywhere, Then they get the ones that come out and, it's only when you're using the app. The ones that automatically post stuff like, oh, well, you visited so-and-so on so-and-so day, complete your trial. People do that kind of mess. Yeah, they forget. It's like the only time any reality type shows I've ever watched any piece of that interested me at all was after they'd been there for a while and the folks in the house had pretty much kind of forgot. They'll forget, you know, when certain things are introduced in your life, like with the phone, you know, type thing, and you get used to it, you just kind of forget that it's there. You just automatically use it. So, yeah, I think later, you know, them folks, they just get so used to it and they forget that everything about their digital life is tracked, you know. And but it's good, you know, in a lot of ways if you plan to be a dirtbag murderer or something.
Well, that's kind of the point I was going with. But hey, so anyway, so that was kind of a dark, you know, curve. But tell me, so like this is the time of year. This is springtime. We just passed Valentine's Day, and you know, love has kind of been in the air. What do you, as this human on this ball of dirt, rock and water, you know, floating around this thing, and you know, we've advanced in age, and you know, we're not the young lovers we used to be. You know, none of us are. Whenever you get to be in your 50s, you know, your heart's different. I guess maybe it is. I don't know. For some people, it is. What about you? I mean, you know, what have you reflected on turning 50? I know that we all talk about, Brad turned 50, and he's very vociferous about. You know, 50 fucking years old, man. Like, the first thing. Let me end off my part by saying this. I was like, holy shit! I lived for 5 decades. There's no fucking way, man. Like, how did that happen?
I love how you are. Yep. Brad didn't care if he turned 50. I really don't think much about it. I mean, I truly don't.
They don't understand, but they will maybe one of these days.
Yeah. So, wait a damn minute.
Everybody's got to laugh. If you don't get a better laugh at least once a year, even if it's about some dumb shit, you need to go try it. That's all I say.
That's right. Yes.
But what were you going to say? I forgot.
Oh man, I don't think much about turning 50 and junk. I just kind of wait to figure out, you know, hey, what I need to do with just, you know, the way life has dealt me what I got, how long I need to be here, and where I need to be next. You know. Kind of just, you know, hobbling along, paying my bills, trying to save me a little cash back, get a few things handled, you know. Yeah. I guess, what do you call it, going on about going on? You know? But otherwise,
yeah. That kind of sounds like some stuff that you might hear off that guy from George Strait movie. What was it called? God, it's the only movie he ever made, probably, where he was like from
Pure
Grandpa.
Country. Pure Country.
Yeah, that was. But you are a grandpa, so that's not such a bad thing, though.
You know, I am a grandpa.
Well, hey, Grandpa, you know what? This has been a very wild hour. We have 6 minutes until we wrote an hour into the most. I don't know if anybody has hung this far. You know, bless your heart.
Oh, you know? God, yeah.
But there's one of you son bitches out there, and we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Oh, my God.
My God, that's what I'm talking about. Just how big a damn feller are you?
Well, I hope they're not too big. That's all I can say, because I'm gonna be swinging in the dark tonight.
Hey, you got that right. You're already out there in the dark. All right, bud. You have a good night.
Be blessed, sir.
All right, brother. Bye. Love you.